Doug?
Hey, are you back, sir? You are so lucky that I just didn't fire you right away and say, we'll come back next week, sir.
Unbelievable. This is...
Has that ever happened?
Never during a show like that. No, never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've had every once in a while, like, you know, and this hasn't happened with this machine, so... Once the show ends, we're firing an email off to the computer guy and going, well, I don't know what the hell happened, but do I got to bring it in? Do you got to run a thing? I don't know, but I can't afford to have it crash during the show. Like, this is the most important part.
The whole time I was like, oh, what's he going to do to test it over the next week? I was like, he's going to put himself through the paces testing this. Has there been a cat sighting?
No, it's funny. Jeff and Drizzy just said cat piss, ? And then there's no. These things are up on stilts, protected at this point. So, piss on my computer once, shame on you. Piss on my computer twice, shame on me.
Shit, that's funny. That's
all right, funny. So I don't know where we left off there,
I was at Texas Star Grill, cook prime rib roast and, served that as the appetizer and stuff. So, but that went really well. And then, I've gotten some, Sam the cooking guys featured it in a couple of videos and stuff. And so, I'm sure that's helped. Home Depot, just recently they have, when it was originally introduced, it was just 5 rubs and it was a promo item. It actually had, they could tell by the SKU that it was a promo item. And so a lot of, even my local store, I had trouble getting him to keep it in stock because he said that's a promo item. They would get a separate delivery instead of coming in the main delivery of all the crap that they order every day. And, that's problematic. Who wants a separate delivery? So now it's in, I think it's in 5 distribution centers around the US for Home Depot. And so they can order directly when they order lawnmowers and, whatever else they're ordering and stuff. So, so it comes directly to them. And so I think that's helped. I've got one out of Southeast that, heck, last month they ordered 200 bottles, I guess for some of their stores and stuff. And so, and hopefully it's not finalized yet, but looks like there could be a pretty good expansion, perhaps in Home Depot next year for myself and also some other rubs.
So what kind of logistics are we looking at? I think when people listen to this, if they don't know our backstory and the history we have, they're just learning that maybe you're a guy that has gotten into rubs. You're seeing some success here through a certain amount of Home Depot stores, but does Home Depot call Doug and then Doug ships them stuff? Like when people put in orders, where does that order go and how is it fulfilled?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. Man, that's one of the most intelligent questions I think I've heard in my 24 years
That's
of barbecue.
One of the most intelligent questions anybody has ever asked me.
Exactly. What you didn't ask in your interview, but yeah, that is, I was with Head Country, kind of a little bit of the backstory is I was with Head Country and they encouraged me to develop a couple of rubs. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure, I'll play around with it a little bit. But little did I know that they were being in the process of being bought out by Old World Spice. And I was a commercial mix guy. I mean, back when I first started my cherry chipotle ribs, I had a specific rub that I developed for that, and I made it every couple of weeks, and I tracked it down. They weren't tasting the same, and stinking HEB had started using a different supplier of smoked paprika, and I'm like, all right, forget it. I'm always going to use commercial rubs, and have a predictable taste, and work on flavor profiles that way. But Head Country had convinced me that I should. And so when I found out they were with Old World Spice, I'm like, oh, okay, this is real deal. And so they told me to get some rubs done. And so that's when I developed the 3 rubs. The brisket rub is I just went back, and actually it's kind of a good thing, because when I cook, you get off track and stuff like that. My brisket rub is my original brisket rub that I used in competition, like in 2010 to 2014 or so.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like 95% the same as what I did with that. And then the other rub was just my all-purpose rub is one that I developed. And the finishing dust, I had actually started to make a dust about the last couple 2-3 years anyway, and was playing around with that because I wanted something as an alternative to white lightning for competition, because you can see that white, the white, and I know KCBS, they put it on the bottom side, but on IBCA, we put it on the top. So and so I kind of played around with it, and I designed it to kind of be like crack, so that you can't put it down, and it's loaded with MSG, so just like white lightning is. So so it's been interesting. So and then I forgot to mention that United Markets, kind of in West Texas and Central Texas, they have like 71 stores. They picked up all 3 rubs, and so they're doing a test pilot. And so it's a division of Albertson. So it's Albertson owns like 4 or 5 brands. And in fact, I've been told that up in the Dallas area, it's in Albertsons up there. And in fact, when I went to my high school reunion in Clovis, New Mexico, who the hell's heard of Clovis, New Mexico? One of my classmates said he found it in Clovis, New Mexico.
Really?
And I was just, yes. When we were there for my reunion, it was really kind of weird. But so anyway, yeah, so it's gotten picked up in a few places and stuff, and so I've been real surprised at. I thought the brisket rub was going to be my star because that's my competition one, and the one that I've worked on for so many years. And then, but so many people are using the dust, and the all-purpose, is good as well. So I love all 3, but a lot of people love all their stuff that they make, and you just don't know if other people are going to like it as well.
Does the all-purpose have a hint of chili powder in it?
Yeah, it has New Mexico chili powder, specifically New Mexico chili powder. And because I just think that has a little bit more of a bite or kick than normal chili powder and stuff. So yeah, absolutely. The brisket rub has a little bit of mesquite flavoring in it, and it doesn't taste bitter, in my opinion, like the dreaded urine liquid smoke sort of thing. And so yeah, it's actually a nice accent to it. So I like that. And then, I mean, there's several rubs. There's a rub out there called Piggy Bank from Aaron Leslie, Texas Oil Dust. It has a smoky flavor to it. Yeah. So he's a competitor down here. So I think that's part of what I had done, is because on pellet cookers, especially with brisket, I wanted to inject a little bit of smoke into the rub, in addition to putting it on with the smoke from the pellets and stuff. So probably kind of going along. I'm going to change the label slightly between my brisket and my all-purpose rub, because on the shelf they look pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just add a hint of color to the all-purpose rub, and then that'll be probably in the next production run. But it's been interesting. I think, I totaled it up today. We've sold over 5,500 bottles, 5,500 bottles in the since basically this year. And we didn't even have any rubs out for two. Now, you asked about logistics, and I got way off track. But through the Old World Spice program, they do the production of, we match the rub. I did the trademarks. In fact, I talked to our friend of the show, Suzanne, last week, and about my trademarks. And so Old World Spice takes it. I just turn everything over to them, because the last thing I want to do, and Chef Ray, she and another co-host of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast, he's fulfilling those things, all the orders himself.
Wow.
And that just seemed, and so, no, I didn't want anything to do with it. That's why I was in a panic. That was why, when the rubs were announced and they're available, I was like, oh, I need somebody else to do that, because I'm not filling packages and people ordering from me, so that just sounds painful. So they actually keep it in their warehouse, and they will, submit, and they have a good distribution channel, they've got contacts with HEB, Menards, Shields, Ace, they've got them all. So Academy, so they can make presentations on your behalf. If the rub is doing well, I presume, that, to the buyers of those organizations. So Old World Spice has all that built into one roof, and I'm just damn lucky that I was able to get into the program. I think it was the last one, Abel.
How much are you working on it yourself? You doing a lot of rub work business-wise?
When you say rub work, I should be doing more. I should. So I should be going I was by a local facility today, and I dropped some rubs off because I know the owner and stuff. And so I am I want more of the mom and pops. It's like some of the stores, like our buddy Owl's Nest, and in Oodawall, and Wanamaker's in Chicago has it, Iowa Barbecue Store. There's a few there. I think there's one in Memphis and one in Nebraska and stuff. So there's a few stores that have picked it up. And there's some company out there that's selling it on Amazon. So it's, when you Google it, it'll come up on Amazon. So yeah. And I've seen they've made 5 or 6 orders. So I get a summary every month that basically says, this is who ordered, this is the quantity, and this is how much was sold. So I know pretty much who, I've seen a few of my competition friends have been buying it too. So, so when it's, when it's through Old World Spice, I see that. So yeah, it says who it is and stuff. So, whether it's Home Depot or United Stores or whatever.
Where would you like to see it at the end of the year?
At the end of the year, I would like to see that hopefully we can get in, or at least be on the path to getting in to more Home Depot stores, and perhaps having at least a second rub in there. So that's kind of what I would like. And much to my dismay and surprise to myself, even, I'm working on a steak rub.
Oh yeah.
Cause it's my competition steak rub that I used at the Jack Daniels when we got first in Chef's Choice. And so that's my steak rub that I use almost all the time. So, so I'm working on that. So we'll see how that goes. And if I can talk them into, producing that. So, but my sales have been pretty good. So I think they might be interested in that.
How much money is in your pocket from rub sales right now?
I can't, tell you specifics, but just, I figure I plan on getting about $1 a bottle. And so that, on the wholesale price, that's actually not bad, because they're selling it, prices are anywhere from $10 to 14 something on Amazon to, $17 on Barbecue Spot. But, most of the orders, I don't know the exact numbers, but I would think there's volume discounts or whatever, for the major stores, versus someone just getting an
So
account.
you're about $6,000 in the pocket, give or take. You
Yeah,
said you're selling about
yeah,
5,500
yeah.
bottles so far.
I'm cash flow positive,
Is
believe it or
that
not.
like
Yeah.
is that good enough for you?
For right now, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I would like to, to get more penetration into the larger stores. Um, some of them have too many rubs, tell you the truth.
Sure.
I actually like the mom and pops a little more. And so I personally, yeah, I've haven't been good in terms of going after other brick and mortar stores in different cities and kind of, asking them if they'd be interested in taking on the rub and selling it. So, but it'd be nice if I had some sort of connection with them instead of, just calling out of the blue sort of thing. So
The easiest way to get Doug's rubs in your hot little mitts is to go to rowcookers.com and then click on the shop navigation channel at the top of the page and then buy the rubs right there. They are available. You will get them. And you can also look forward to a potential rub giveaway that our pal John Solberg is going to be doing here at some point. So we'll see what he is up
fantastic.
to with that. Very good.
Yeah,
Great promotion from our pal
yes.
John. Love that.
I greatly appreciate that. Thank you, John.
Doug, always appreciate the time. Thank you for the insight here on this rub stuff. And we will talk to you at the end of next month, if not sooner.
Sounds great. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks, Doug. And what?
Get that computer fixed.
Yeah, all right. That's enough. I'll try. I'm going to try. Going to try really hard. I don't even know what the hell happened. It's the worst part. All right. Get back on track here and then close it out. We're getting close to the hour. A very disconcerting blue screen of death. Hey, are you ready to score that perfect 180 on chicken, ribs, pork, or brisket? Big Papa Smokers has you covered for the best rubs, sauces, and injections in the business. For a limited time, use promo code BBQ Central. That's BBQ Central and get $10 off all Big Papa Smokers products. All of them. 10% off the secret ingredients the championship teams swear by and win with weekend in and weekend out. Don't miss out on this incredible offer, whether you're aiming for a GC, your next barbecue contest, or just looking to take your barbecue and grilling foods to the next level of awesomeness. Remember, your food just got better with Big Papa. Offer valid now through October 31st. That's Halloween. Visit BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BigPapaSmokers.com. And use promo code BBQ Central at checkout for 10% off the entire order. Let's put a wrap on this thing. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
Yeah, we thank Doug Scheiding for joining us last segment. Not sure exactly what happened with the crash, but we're back up and running. Rowcookers.com, his website, buy his rubs. This portion of the show being brought to you by JRE Tobacco, a family-run brand, a vertically integrated manufacturer known for its authentic Corojo tobacco, grown at the JRE farms in Honduras. This is a original Cuban seed of Corojo. Flavor characteristics are unique, brings you back to the golden area of cigars in Cuba. From 1947 to 1961, their approach in blending prioritizes flavor to give contemporary smokers a sensational experience with a range of blends, making sure there is something for everybody to enjoy. Find a retailer near you by visiting jretobacco.com. Our friends over at JRE and the makers of Aladino. I'm going to quit while I'm currently ahead, if you don't mind. I'm all wrapped up on my business end. I had some things to talk about in the open segment, but not enough time. But we can get to it next week. Why not? All the way back in the first hour, we had our pal Aaron Franklin join us. We ended up talking about ribs a lot. Didn't even get sidetracked on the other topic that I thought we might get into that I wasn't allowed to talk about. Aaron Franklin is on vacation right now from Franklin BBQ. They're closed down, so don't go there this week. And then we had Bill Oakley back on the show after Aaron Franklin. At that Bill Oakley on Instagram. He's got a barbecue event coming up in Seguin, Texas. If you want to check that out, that's going to be in October. Follow at that Bill Oakley on Instagram for updates and ticket availability when it comes out. And then the second hour, our pal Doug Scheiding from Rogue Cookers, giving us an update on his rub business, roguecookers.com. We're going to start August next week, if you can believe it. We'll have Malcolm Reed. We'll have Sam the Cooking Guy. We'll have many more guests, if you can believe that. So how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe, saying, Shalom!
Sam the Cooking Guy, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Some call him a fool, some even call him a douchebag. But I say Greg Rempe is the greatest thing to happen to barbecue since cavemen.